Okay, so hey guys, now I'm doing a replay analysis session for what is this? A Crusader player. So this is a Axe. So we're doing the replay session for an Axe right now. So he just has a few questions before we start the session. So the first one is, in my bracket, should I focus on support or carry? Right, I'll just confirm if you can hear me once. Okay, so I'm just going to answer your first question first. In my bracket, should I focus on support or carry? So in my opinion, like all five roles are equal. Every role has a 20% weightage in a team. There's no role which is better than the other role. Like all five roles are important. But if I understand correctly, like people in Crusader do not pick supports. They just pick five carries every game. Like, is that true? I mean, I think that's how the meta is. Is the, yeah, so you are actually absolutely correct. Unless you can 1v9, you're not going to climb. You have to 1v9. So I mean, I'm not saying you have to 1v9. You have to be good enough to be able to 1v9 if you want to get to like 4K. Until like 4.5K, you can 1v9. Until 5K, you can 1v9 actually. So, yeah, so your first question, like it's both equal. Like all roles are equal. You can either win as a carry, you can either win as a support. Like it doesn't matter what role you play. It's just depends on what kind of roles you're comfortable with. So, what role do you generally play? Like, what's your favorite role? Yeah, I think that's your problem because so you have to think of Dota as every other sport. Like, so if you go to a basketball coaching, like practice or whatever, they're not gonna make you play a new role every game, right? Like, if you go to basketball training, they'll teach you like one day it's just gonna be free throws, and then one day it's just gonna be like I don't know, running around or passing or something. You don't practice the entire game every day. You practice only one specific part of the sport until you're very good at it. So I feel like you have to approach Dota in the same way. You have to focus on one aspect of the game to improve. Like you cannot expect to improve overall by just spamming games. Like that doesn't work. I feel like I can position five well, but I come back to the safe lane or my off lane, depending on which lacking in the previous one. Yeah, so again, like I'm just gonna tell you the same thing. Like try to stick to one role. Um, that's how you're gonna improve. Like you need to focus on one aspect. Uh, if you keep switching every few games, it's gonna be a little bit difficult to. Oh, um, okay. So for me, it's still okay. So you're not in the session anymore. I'm just gonna. Um, okay. तो सो रहा था ना अभी सेशन पर. Okay. Oh, hey man, I see you're back. Can you see my screen? Okay, perfect. Yeah, so like I was saying, you have to treat Dota as every other sport. So, I mean, let's take an example of soccer maybe. So, if you're playing soccer, you don't change your position every 2 or 3 games, right? Like, it's not that one game you're playing goalkeeper and then next game you start playing like a midfielder or something. You have to stick to one role if you want to improve. If you keep doing that, your progress is going to be very slow. Uh, and another thing is that it's not possible to win all 10 games. Like if you play 10 games, it's very difficult to have a 100% win rate. So there's going to, out of every 10 games, 3 games are going to be very easy to win. You will get carried in those. In 3 games, no matter how well you play, you're going to lose. And in the remaining 4 games, it's up to you to win the game. So if you are a very good player, you should be around, you should have you should win 3 out of those 4 games. So out of 10, you should win 7 games, 6 games. I'm sorry. If you have a 60% win rate, like you're a very good player. So there are some games which are impossible to win. So it's all right. Like that's not what we have to focus on. You just need to look at the big picture. Like try to win 6 out of 10 games. That's your goal. So try to stick on one rule and focus on that. Yeah, yeah, perfect. That's the attitude you need to have. That's perfect. So should we get into your replay now? I see, I see. Okay, that's perfect. So, okay, I'm just gonna download your replay. Why don't you tell me what your issues are? Yeah, I'm downloading your replay. Okay, I can't really say since I've address already, so we can take a fresh start. Okay. So, what part of the game would you like to focus on? Like, would you like to learn overall like Dota concepts, or would you just like to focus on Axe in particular? Okay, so itemization, coordination, communication, general concepts, objectives, things I need to do, how to make up 13 shortcomes. Okay. All right, so let's begin with the first one, which is itemization. I'm just gonna start the replay. So, for example, would you see my draw wasn't able to carry well? So, okay, yeah. So let's answer your first question first, which is itemization. So, Axe is a catch hero. Um, your job as an Axe is to make the enemy carry kill himself. Like in this case, it's Void. Void has the highest uh, physical damage, right? Like Axe punishes right click carries. So you need that's why his item build is like blink and blade mail because you're the catch. Like you initiate the fight by catching the enemy carry. So your mid game items are blink and blade mail. Like that's all you need to do your job. But let's look at your starting items first. Let's look at this from an overall perspective. So I'm just waiting for the replay to load. I've got an old laptop. It takes some time to load stuff. Okay, I think we're in. So yeah, all right. So let's begin. Okay, so I'm gonna just close my other applications. I mean, I guess I'll increase the FPS. Just closing everything else. Okay, so yeah, so your first starting items are ring of protection, lot of regen, and okay. So I like this build. Like this is a pretty good build. But personally, I would like to go for a quelling blade instead of ring of protection level one because it helps in last hitting. If you last hit well enough, you can buy a ring of protection faster. So, but ring of protection is pretty good too. Like if you're extremely good at last hitting, then you don't need a quelling blade. But I personally go for quelling blade because it helps you get last hits faster, and if you get more last hits, you can buy other items fast. So, but this is pretty good. So let's look at your skill build. Okay, you got a mango as well. Perfect. That's very good. I'm gonna fast forward this a little. Okay, let's just check who, where are your wards? Okay, apparition has a ward. Cool. So you're walking here. Okay, so I'm just gonna pause for a second. From the questions which you sent me, okay, hold on. Okay, so you mentioned you want to focus itemization coordination. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through this entire game and we can talk about this in general, like the overall gameplay, just everything. We'll talk about everything in this gameplay. It'll just take a bit longer, but I hope that's all right. So you see that it's a carry viewer. You haven't scaled a point yet. So access, yeah, this is perfect. You skill battle hunger. You use it. Oh, so this is unbelievable. Like right now, you're doing everything right so far. You haven't done anything wrong. So, to people who do not know why you should be skilling battle hunger first, um, I'll just explain it to them. This skill is your trading skill basically. I mean, even your E is a trading skill, but battle hunger is good because right now there's no creeps around and the enemy is going to take full damage. So you can do a lot of damage with your battle hunger before the game starts. Like in your pre-game fights, battle hunger is the spell to go for. Like what you did is perfect right now. So yeah, as you guys can see, like we was already down to a quarter health. This is perfect. Yeah, perfect, perfect. We're hitting the. So I'm not an axe player, so a lot of heroic shit coming up. No, trust me. Like right now, the way you're playing, it's really good. This is perfect. I don't have any mistakes so far. Oh yeah. Okay, so Jakiro feeds bottom. That's okay. Okay, so you decide to block your creeps. So this was a decent block, but if you check my channel, there's a video I have for blocking the offlane. Um, I'll send you the link in in the chat after this session is done, so you can check how to block the offlane camps. So what you're supposed to do for your offlane block is you're supposed to let the range creep go forward. So let's talk about lane equilibrium first. So do you know what lane equilibrium is and like what you're supposed to do in lane? Yes. So what you said is like half correct, I would say. Yeah. So that's about aggro. What you're talking about is creep aggro. So what I'm talking about is creep equilibrium. So I'll just explain that now. So when you're playing as an offlane hero, wait one sec. So when the creep waves just meet, this is the first creep wave meeting. Like this is where the creep waves generally meet. Like because you blocked them, it like made a little bit further closer to your tower. But okay, I'll just tell you what you're supposed to do in lane. So as a offlane player, you want the creeps as close to your tower as possible because okay, as any player, if you're playing mid carry offlane doesn't matter. You want the creeps to be as close to your tower as possible, but outside your tower range. Now, why do you want this? So the reason you want the creeps close to your tower is because if it's close to your tower, it's difficult for the enemy to contest your creeps. Like if they try to hit you, your tower will aggro to them and it will hit them harder. Also, inside your tower range, you have more armor and HP regen. So if you're inside your tower range, you're stronger, and it's easy for you to last hit, and it's much harder for them to contest creeps. So I'm not gonna get too much into detail for this because I already have made a few videos. I'll send you all of those in the chat after we're done. So I have a video for yeah. So I'll just explain it in short again anyway. So right now there's 4 creeps and you have 4 creeps. So when you have lesser creeps than the enemy, the wave is going to push towards you. When you have more creeps than the enemy, the wave is going to push towards them. So the range creep is what does the highest damage in the creep wave. So if your range creep dies first and the enemy creep range creep is still alive, the creep wave is going to push towards you. So you want that to happen as an offlaner because the waves meet very close to the safe lane tower. So you want to pull it back as much as possible. So you want to get your range creep kill first. So there is a way to block such that your range creep always goes ahead and you can get it killed first. I'll send you the link for that. And if you want to study more about lane equilibrium, I do have a video uploaded. I'll send you that. So all right, we've spoken about creep equilibrium. Now let's talk about the other stuff, which is trading and just other stuff. So yeah, perfect. You're trying to get your range creep killed. You're harassing them with your Q. Great, great, great. You try to deny that creep. That's perfect. So basically, you want this battle hunger. You want him to take full duration battle hunger. So you have to be very careful about the denies. So that is why I like to go for a quelling blade first, because it makes your last hitting easier and basically it helps you do more damage because your battle hunger lasts longer if you have a quelling blade. So you could swap this ring of protection with a quelling blade next time. That's the only thing I have to say so far. Otherwise, you're playing a perfect game. Perfect. You're denying. So yeah, you wouldn't have missed that last hit if you have a quelling blade. So right now you should be trying to deny this range creep as fast as possible because right now you have 2 range creep and the enemy only has 1. So the wave is going to push towards that tower and it's going to get harder for you to contest the next wave. So you need to fix this issue as soon as possible. You need to deny this range creep immediately. Perfect, perfect, perfect. You're doing a great job so far. That was amazing. You didn't even use your battle hunger. Are you really a Crusader player? I feel like. Are you an ancient player or something? I mean, because so far. Okay. Okay, your apparition rotated top for some reason. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, this is perfect. You're zoning them from the creeps and using a battle hunger. Amazing. Yeah, so okay, that's fine. Like we'll look at that. So I mean, so far your lane has been unbelievable. Like you're doing everything right. The only thing I would say is you have only 1 last hit and 2 denies. So I would suggest focus on practicing last hits. Just create an empty lobby, pick axe, buy only a quelling blade, and just last hit there for 5 minutes. So your goal should be to not miss a single creep in the first 5 minutes of a lobby. And if you miss, like you have to just restart the lobby and keep doing that until you're perfect at last hitting. So trust me, like that's gonna immediately improve your MMR. Yeah. Yes. Use solo in a lobby. So I'm gonna tell you one thing. Like getting better at Dota is one of the most boring things in life. It's very, very boring. I understand, but like you gotta like take the efforts if you want to get better. So last hit practice is very boring, but if you do that, you're gonna improve in your MMR a lot. So that's my only issue so far. Like try to get better at last hitting. So yes, so yeah, what's up? So I have not used the last hit trainer. I personally don't believe in all that. I would say just practice in a custom lobby, because you can practice two things at once. You can practice last hitting and you can practice maintaining the lane equilibrium as well. So I don't think you get to practice that in the last hit trainer. I would suggest just go for the lobby. So okay, I have a question for you now. So right now the lane is near the enemy's tower. So what are you supposed to do? What's your main concern right now? Yes, pull. I mean, that's not your job. Pulling is the support's job, but your job is to get your range creep killed as soon as possible so that the wave starts pushing towards you. Yeah. You do not dive. Like right now, it's extremely close to the tower. So what you can do is just shove it into the tower. So it will start pushing towards you very hard because the tower kills your wave very fast. So it will get pushed hard into your tower. So in this case, since it's so close, you can just shove it into the tower, and it will like push back automatically over here or something. So yeah, exactly. So you just shove the wave, especially in this case because like they're not really contesting. I mean, I don't know what this Void and Beaver are doing. They're not even standing in experience. So in this case, like it's the best situation to shove the wave because they're not even contesting the creeps. So you're not even giving them free farm. So ideally, if it's like somewhere over here, you can try to get your range creep killed very fast, so it starts pushing towards you. But since it's so close, you can just shove it. Perfect, perfect, perfect. You're harassing this Weaver very well. Okay, this Weaver just abandoned his lane. Okay, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, perfect. You went to contest the pull. Pull. You went to contest the pull, I mean. So far you're doing everything right. You're playing a perfect game. Your supports are just leeching your experience. They're making this lane very hard for you, basically. So if you see like your two supports are really bad, they're just standing here and not doing anything. But I mean, we're here to focus on your game. They're slowing your game down. They're slowing your game down. Oh, so I mean, to be completely honest, they're dog shit. They're standing here, leeching your experience, not doing anything. Right, right, right. I see. So yeah, but still, like these guys are not feeding, but they're pretty dog shit. I mean, this apparition is just literally standing here, not doing anything. So these guys should be helping your Drow because Drow is your carry, and you have a good lane. Okay, so as a support player, I'm going to talk about which lane to stay in. So first of all, you should almost never be dry laning because one, you ensure that you're losing one lane, which is bottom. Bot is going to be lost, and second, you're equally dividing experience amongst three heroes. So you, level 6 is very important in supports, and if you're dry laning, it's going to get delayed a lot. You're just standing here leeching experience, not doing anything. So this is bad. Not only are you guys losing bottom, they're also slowing down your game in terms of experience. So these both of them should be bottom right now, helping this draw because the draw is the carry. Like they should be playing around draw. You like as seen so far, you don't really need any help because it's been 3 minutes into the game and you haven't even used like a single stack of your region. Your region is completely full right now. That means you're not having trouble laning here. So I mean, I don't know what this guy's doing here. Okay, but cool, perfect. You're trying to cut the waves. So this is not the ideal play, I would say. You left the creep waves here. You tried to pressure him. So you should not be pressuring so early on in the game. Like, so what happens is right now you are hitting his creeps here. You're getting full experience, and he's taking damage right now from these creeps. Like Axe has high regen, so you're forcing him to use regen by not even doing anything. Like if he's just standing here and tanking these creeps, trying to hit them, he's taking more damage than you. So like this was not the best, but I mean it's pretty good. You are doing pretty well so far. So yeah, you missed that entire wave of creeps. Okay, good. Apparition got it here. Yeah, you're right. You're right. So it doesn't matter. Like this is just the laning stage. I'm not talking about mid game. Like after mid game, your every role is supposed to do something different. But in the laning stage, every role is supposed to get as much farm as possible. So this is a good item. Like Ring of Tarask is good, but I personally would have gone for Ring of Health instead, because I'm assuming you want to go for Vanguard, which I can see in your quick buy. So this is just slowing down your Vanguard. I mean, Ring of Health and Ring of Task, they're almost same price, do almost the same thing. But Ring of Task gives you more health. But the trade-off is that it doesn't build into anything good early on. So I personally would have gone for a Ring of Health here. You don't need this item. You want to rush your Vanguard as soon as possible. Right, right. So yeah, again, so yeah, go ahead. Okay, that is a great question. That is a great question. So your question is when to focus on Hood or when to focus on a Vanguard. So now so before I get into that, I want to talk about what you said first. You said Immortal Faith said you should go for a Ring of Task first. So for that, I only have one thing to say. Like, do not look at pro players when you try to learn a hero. Try to look at how a player is playing Axe who's like 500 MMR or like 700 MMR above you. So pro players are so much better than an average player that they're playing Dota 3. It's not even Dota 2. Like they're so good. I mean, they're playing on a different level. Like you don't need to follow their guides yet. Like once you get to like Immortal or something, I mean, even I don't look at pro players because they're so much better than me. Yeah, so exactly. Those guys are not playing Dota 2, they're playing Dota 3. It's a different level of gameplay. They're so much better than the average player. Yeah, you can't improve by looking at them. So if you want to improve, you should be looking at players who are 500 or 700 MMR above you. Look at their replays. So yes, yeah. I mean, I no. So you can look at replaytools.io. I believe that's the website. Just check this out later. But I will look into this and get back to you. Um, there is a way to search replays. I will be uploading this video on my YouTube as well. So if any of you guys, if any of you watching know where to find replays, just let me know in the comments. So yeah, now coming to your next question, when do we go for Vanguard and when do we go for Pipe first? So you should always go for Vanguard or Hood first, and then you go for Blink and then Blade Mail. So the reason why you never go Blink first is, let's assume you get Blink at 7 minutes. Your team is not going to be good enough to capitalize on that Blink. So let's assume you go to some lane and you blink and you call someone. Like that's it. Your damage is over, right? You can't do anything after that. Your team has to follow up with the damage. So at 7 minutes in, nobody's gonna have that much damage that your blink is useful. So you always go for a survival item first, which is Hood or Vanguard. So to decide between Hood or Vanguard, you have to look at the enemy heroes. So there's Weaver, Mirana, Bristleback, Wild, and Queen of Pain. So can you tell me what type of damage does the enemy have? Like, what's the majority of damage type which the enemy has? Is it physical or magical? Physical, yes. So Weaver's physical damage, Mirana's physical damage. I mean, she has that Starfall, but it's not that much. Bristleback is physical damage, Void is physical damage, and Co-op is magical. So, yeah, it's almost all physical. So this game, you go for Vanguard. You have to go for Vanguard. But let's assume the enemy had heroes like Venomancer, Queen of Pain, Luna. Um, so carry Luna, mid Queen of Pain, offlane Venomancer, and then like support Dark Willow, I guess, and Jakiro. In that case, like it's almost all magical early game, so you go for a hood. No, so you do not go for pipe rush. You have to get a blink after hood because axe is a catch hero. Um, pipe is good. Pipe rush is good on items on heroes such as Tide Hunter or Underlord. Like they don't need a blink to make that kit work. So, am I making sense? Like, are you understanding what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So, Axe is a catch hero. Like, without blink, you're not doing a job. Yeah, exactly. So, Underlord and Tide Hunter, like these are heroes on which you can go for pipe rush because they don't need a blink to do their job. Like, uh, Tide just has to go in and ravage, and his job is done. And Underlord just, yeah, they need shields. Their job is to like take damage. So that's why pipe rush is good for them. But on Axe, you should always go for blink first. So so far you're doing like unbelievably well. So you got your tower at 4 minutes in. Like that's insane. I'm gonna tell you, like this is. I mean, I was not expecting to see this when I watched this replay. Like this is just extremely good gameplay. I mean, partly because the enemies are shit and you are capitalizing on their mistakes, but good job. Capitalizing on mistakes also requires skill, and you're doing a great job. You're punishing them for abandoning. So again, like I don't know what these supports are doing. They should be trying to help your draw. Yeah. So okay, I'm gonna tell you what to do as an offlaner once you have the safe lane tower. So once you have that, you should be farming these two camps: the this small camp, this large camp, and trying to shove in the wave. So it's just you keep repeating the same cycle over and over. When the wave pushes out a little bit, you go here, shove the wave in, and while someone is trying to defend the tower, you farm this camp and this camp. So does that make sense? Yeah. So yeah, so you're forcing. Yeah, you should keep shoving the dead lane in. So right now, what you should do is try to place a ward here, so you can watch for any rotations, and then you shove this wave in here. You farm this camp, you farm this camp. You keep doing that over and over again, and you'll eventually just win the game because you're starving the enemy out. So yeah, your supports are just kind of really bad, but we're gonna focus on your game here. So yeah, again, if so, in that case, so let's assume that's a great question. So let's assume you're playing Axe against a Monkey King. So Monkey King is gonna like destroy you in lane, right? You can't do what you just did in this game because it's a hard matchup for you. So what's gonna happen is the wave is just gonna stay near his tower. If you go and try to hit him, he's gonna hit you very hard and just kill you. You can't contest creeps basically. So in that case, I'm gonna talk about what to do as an axe. As an axe, you just go here behind the tower, you pull the wave back, and you join the creep to this camp. So you farm two creeps while he's forced to uh, tank his creeps here and defend the tower and take damage, or he comes here to contest you and he loses all that experience. So you're forcing him to take two bad trades. Yeah, he either has to choose between stopping your farm or he has to lose his own farm. So in that way, nobody wins because both of you don't get any farm. But if that happens, if you manage to connect this pool and he doesn't contest you, you're farming more than he is. Like he's farming 4 creeps, but you're farming 4 creeps plus this camp. So yes, sure. So you can start from minute one. You can start very fast. Okay, I don't think it works at minute one. The first wave does not pull, but from the second wave you can start pulling. You can start pulling as soon as the second wave. So in that case, you have to just rush boots first, because boots help you run away while you're pulling. So this is just something you'll get if you start playing offlane a lot, because you'll start understanding the strength of matchups. So if you're playing Axe against a Monkey King, you need to pull because you can't contest him in lane. But if you're playing Axe against like, I don't know, Terror Blade or something, he can't contest you. I mean, he can with meta, but basically, if you're winning your lane, you don't need to do this cheese shit. But if you can't contest the lane, like you need to start pulling from minute 30, from second 30. I mean, it all depends. Like when you play offlane Axe a lot, if you spam this hero, you'll start understanding matchups. So that's why I insist on people to stick to one role when they're trying to improve at the game. If you keep swapping, you're not going to improve very fast. You're going to take a long, long time to improve. So just go boots vanguard. No, no, no. This is perfect. This is good. Go for boots vanguard or boots pipe. And if you know if you're not being able to contest a lot, then you can just go for boots plus windlace. If you're getting harassed a lot while pulling, you just stack your move speed. So right, so you just keep pulling. So fine. So what has happened is you've done very well in lane so far. So I'm not going to focus on that. I think you got what you could out of the laning stage. So I'm just going to fast forward a bit and see what happens. Yeah, perfect. You're shoving the wave in. Yeah, you got your ring. That's very good. Okay, what just happened? Okay, so I'm going to tell you one thing. Like, wait, hold on. Okay, can you see this red line over here? Yeah, so do you have that in your games? Do you know how I'm getting this? Yeah, so to do that, you need to press Alt. So whenever you're fighting somewhere, so Alt is a great key because first it tells you the tower range. So right now you're standing in tower range and you're level 4 without a vanguard. Like this is just a feed. So, okay, you died, that's all right. But I'm just telling you how to avoid this in future games. So just press Alt, it gives you the tower range. It also gives you ward ranges. Yeah, and you also get to see. So Alt is good because in the mid game when you're trying to fight, you also get to see TP cooldowns. So before you decide to take a fight, just press Alt C who has a TP, who doesn't have a TP on your team. So yeah, just start using Alt more. Like it's gonna help you make better plays. So cool. Anyway, you die here. Yeah, right. Yeah, TP cooldowns and Alt also gives you tower range. So it's always important to stay outside of tower range. So let's see what you do next after your death. So you're TPing middle. Okay, so again, like I said, before you have your blink dagger, you should not be rotating to other lanes. Your power spike is when you have a survivable item plus blink. So by right now you're the strongest hero on the map, and by rotating mid, you're throwing your lead away. Like you should be pressuring top. You should be just continuously shoving the wave in and farming the enemy jungle, so you're starving them of gold. I'm like, unless this co-op is shit, there's no way you're gonna kill her. But let's see what happens. Okay, holy shit, you guys get the kill. So okay, my bad. So this was a high risk, high reward play, and there is co-op out. But yeah. So fine, good job. You kill him. You start rotating top again. That's perfect. Perfect, perfect. You're stealing all the enemy camps. That's great. But you decide to shove the wave in first. Okay, so like I mentioned, you need to have a ward here to catch for enemy rotations. So when you do get the enemy safe lane tower so fast, the only way, when you win a lane so hard, other people are going to start rotating to try to kill you. So that's why you need to have a ward here as soon as possible when you get the safe lane tower, because you can watch for these rotations. So if you knew the Queen of Pain was coming, you would have avoided this, but that's cool. So as an offlaner, you need to watch for rotations. Yeah, so my favorite. So for that, I have another video actually for 7.26c observer ward locations. I'll send you that link as well. So yeah, you can watch that. But cool. So you should have. So if you hadn't died those 2 times, you would have had your vanguard by now easily, and you would have like started working towards your blink. So yeah, you're trying to shove the wave in. Good job. Yeah, perfect. You bought a ward too, so you're doing great. Let's see if you place it. I'm just gonna increase the speed a little. Yeah, perfect. You shove the wave in, you go from a camp, you shove the wave in again. This is great stuff. Again, you're trying to rotate mid, bad idea. Finish your blink and vanguard first. Okay, good. You're farming the camps. Place your ward. I thought those 2 wards are enough. Is that a correct decision, or do we really need another ward? So that depends. Like, if Queen of Pain rotates from, if Queen of Pain gets an invis rune, like, okay, so you right now have a ward here, right? Free camera. So you have a ward just here. So what this ward does is it watches out for any TPs here. If Queen of Pain TPs to the tower, you're gonna know, but you're not gonna know if she comes from here or like from here, from this path. Like you need some vision over here. So see, it's never bad to place wards. Like, I mean, I'm not trying to flame you, but at your bracket, it doesn't matter where the ward is placed. Like, just place as many wards as you can. So yeah, yeah, I'm not trying to say you're a bad player. You're doing pretty great so far. Just place wards. It doesn't matter where it is, as long as like they're not overlapping in vision. So yeah, let's fast forward again. So okay, you rotated bottom. Okay, so again, like I said, your power spike, you cannot catch people without a blink. So you TP'd here. I didn't exactly see what happened, but I can guarantee that you probably did not get a single kill unless the enemy team threw. So let's see what happens. Your perspective axe. Let's go. Okay, start TPing here. You're running into your draw. Okay, what this guy is. I don't know what this bristleback is doing, but basically you did not need to TP here. Like if you hadn't TP'd here, he would have still died because he just ran to punch. So yes, yeah, no TPs before blink, perfect. It's not your job to make other people win their lanes. As a core hero, it's not your job. You should just be focusing on your own game. So fine, you're here, you try to shove this wave in. So I think that Mirana stole your mango tree, but that's fine. Yeah, so again, like you're not doing what you're supposed to. Yeah, so I guess this is where you're going wrong. You're trying to fight before getting a blink. Like the waves should be shoved in as much as possible. So right now, if you see Weaver just got free farm for this entire duration, and this Void is also free farming. So you should have been pressuring these two guys. Like if you shove this wave in, not only are you pressuring Weaver, you're also taking away Void's camps. So yeah, no fighting before blink, no TPs, but you already got into that. So yeah, perfect. You decide to go top. Yeah, correct. That's the correct play. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a tip right now. Um, yeah, so when you're trying to kill these creeps, what I see is you just auto attacking them, right? So one way to kill these creeps faster is you just click somewhere else on the map, click on the enemy hero, so all the creeps aggro to you, and then you just focus on your hero again. So what that does is that forces all creeps to attack you, and you push the wave faster. So I'll just repeat what I said. You go stand near the creeps, you look somewhere else on the map, you click on the enemy hero to draw aggro, and you kill the creeps faster. So that's just a little efficiency tip. Yeah, perfect, perfect. I think you did that. You drew aggro from somewhere else on the map. I feel like I'm getting trolled here. Are you really a Crusader player? Because it doesn't look like you're a Crusader player. So perfect. You have okay. So one tip for Axe. Okay, cool. You're doing the right thing. Okay, perfect. You also know how to use Axe illusions, so I don't need to tell you anything. So for the guys who are watching this video who don't know, Axe illusions proc their counter helix, so you can farm enemy jungle using that. You just send your illusions and they farm the camp for you. So that's great because you're taking away the enemy's farm and you're also increasing your own gold. But you're already doing that, so you know how that works. So great job. Farming the enemy camps, good. Yeah, try to push on top again, perfect. Yeah, you block that camp, that's great. Deny the bounty rune. Okay, that's yeah. Oh, great, great, good. So one thing I'd like to say is, since you went for phase boots and ring of Tarask, you don't have your blink right now. Like if you just had boots, you could have bought your blink. And that's your job in this game. Like you need to be the enabler as soon as possible. So these item builds have slowed down your impact in the game because of your delayed blink dagger. Like so, brown boots are fine for axe. Brown boots are enough. So you, the only time you go for tranquil boots is when you're getting extremely dumpstered in lane and you can't even go for vanguard. Like that's when you go for tranquil boots, blink. But otherwise, you just go for brown boots, vanguard, blink. So yes. So yeah, again, you don't have a ward in the jungle, so you're gonna get gone on. You need to watch out for this. But yeah, you managed to escape anyway. Yeah, so in this case, you survived, but just have a ward in the jungle. Yeah, actually, yeah, you survived even though there were 5 people. So just have a ward. Yeah, perfect. Go top. Push this Raven again. Get a ward. That was a great play. So you called. So you used your call and you drew him into your tower range. Like that was unbelievable, man. I don't think you're a crusader. I think you're fucking with me. Crusader players don't play like this. So yeah, anyway. LC, you mean Legion Commander? Who's LC? Okay, yeah. So now you have your blink. This is the perfect time to rotate. You got your blink. You're rotating. Let's see how this fight plays out. Okay, so before this fight starts, you see there's Weaver, Mirana, and Bristleback. Who are you supposed to call? Who should you initiate on out of these three heroes? Yeah, not Mirana, Weaver, because I guess this is a support Mirana. So I mean, in this particular case, all three of them are standing so close, you can probably get a three-man call. But assuming the fact that they were separated, in this game you should be focusing on Weaver and Void. So let's see who you jump on. Okay, you jump on two of these. You could have jumped on all three, but this is decent. Okay, you walked into the promo. Call him, call him, call him. Nice. Well done. So you saved your draw, that's a good thing. But too bad. So yeah, like that's the thing about Axe. So once you blink, call and kill somebody, you should go out of vision. Because like that's how you kill people. You cannot just walk up to them and kill them. You need to like blink and call. So if you just rewind the fight. So you kill this Weaver and now you know that there's a void here and he has Chrono. So you guys should not be fighting into a Chronosphere void. And this void is really good, like he chronoed the two like backliners. That was perfect. But yeah, you guys should have backed off after this. If you want to go on void, just blink call him. Yeah, you have to play in and out of the fog based on your cooldowns. Like especially when they have heroes like Void who can just it's a fuck you team fight spell, right? Chrono Fear. Like you can't do anything. So you have to play safer around Chrono. That's all I can say. So yeah, cool anyway. Let's go ahead. So you should be rushing your blade mail after this. So where you gonna TP? Top, good. Try to push in a top wave. So Chronosphere is down right now, so you can manage afford to play a little bit aggressive. But also you need to place a ward. You're not placing a ward in the enemy jungle. So for this, you can't really do anything when your team just fed middle. They saw you TP top and they still decided to fight. So that's not your mistake. Your team is just feeding. Yeah, you can let them know that your TP is on cooldown. You're trying to get this Weaver. That's fine. Yeah, he dies anyway. He feeds. So now that you have Blink Blade Mail, you guys should be smoking S5. Every time you get a big item spike, just try to smoke and kill an enemy core. So you guys are playing reactively. You guys are responding to getting pushed. Like in this case, like you should just try to smoke and kill the void or something. Okay, the Queen of Pain dies for some reason. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, you get the shrine. You guys fight here. You miss your call. That's fine. But yeah, like I said, against these like team fight kind of hero. Okay, so let's look at the mid game now. So I'm gonna tell you a bit about Dota. So Dota is like rock, paper, scissors. You have team fight, turtle, and split push. So team fight beats turtle, turtle beats split push, and split push beats team fight. So like catch heroes basically. By split push, I mean like catch heroes who are good at shoving waves. So what does your team have? What does Pudge do? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, your pick of base, right? So exactly, your pick of base. So what you guys did is you guys took a 5v5 over here, and you should not be doing that because Void is like Chronosphere, he's gonna kill 2, 3 people. Queen of Pain has Sonic Wave. So they have like two big team fight spells, and you guys don't have any team fight. Like Drow doesn't have any team fight ult, Pudge is single target, Axis single target. So you guys should be trying to get pickoffs one by one. Smoke pick off, and then pressure towers. Like that's how you should be playing. So if you take 5v5s, you're gonna lose, which you just saw what happened. So that depends on your draft. So I mean, yeah, I mean, let's assume you had a Tide Hunter and Enigma as your supports right now. So in that case, your team fight is stronger than theirs. Like they only have Chrono, but you have two big ultis. You have um, Ravage and you have Black Hole. So in that case, you should be trying to force 5 versus 5s. But in this case, you don't have any team fights. So you guys should be trying to catch individual heroes while they're trying to split push because your team fight is not stronger than theirs. So yeah, does that make sense? Okay. So you have to kind of take note of what your team is good at and what the enemy team is good at, and you have to play around that. So you're playing into the enemy's strengths. The enemy is good at team fighting, and you're playing 5v5, so that's gonna not work out. Which you just saw, like you guys lost 4 heroes. So when you got your blade mail mid, you should have also brought a smoke with you, so you can immediately smoke and try to find a pick off. That was the perfect time for a smoke gank, but you guys unfortunately did not capitalize on that, and a 5v5 breaks out, which you lost. Try to avoid 5v5s as much as possible in this case. So again, you guys are trying to fight, but this is the perfect time. So what happens in case of how turtling beats team fights is you just so the enemy team wins. You never kind of yeah. So it doesn't matter how many team fights they win. So they're not going to be able to push, and eventually your team just overpowers them in terms of gold. Like the game just goes on for so long, the initial gold lead doesn't matter anymore. You just outfarm them eventually. Like you get your items, not outfarm. You get your items which you need to kill them. So you need to think about it this way. Um, let's assume it's like early game and they use like their big team fight spells to kill like 1 or 2 heroes. But then yeah, map control, yeah. So if they use their big team fight spells and get only 1 or 2 kills out of it, your other team, the rest of your team pushes the other waves in, so they're forced to go back and defend. And for the next like 2 minutes, they can't take any fights because their team fight spells have long cooldowns. So that's the time when you're supposed to like be very aggressive and take fights. So that's how turtling works. Like when the enemy team has their spells up, you play safe, you stay in your base. But you know, if they try to use their big spells to kill only 1 or 2 people, you should stay separated on the map. So they kill 1 or 2 people, and then as soon as that guy's up again, the 5 of you smoke and then try to take fights when their spells are on cooldown, which you guys are doing right now. So Chronosphere is on cooldown, you guys take a fight, and I'm sure you guys will win this. So yeah, you get 2 kills because there's no chrono. This is perfect. So this is what you're supposed to do in turning. Like you stay in base when they have their ultis up, and when the ultis are on cooldown, you try to force fights. So as you see, you just won this fight. So one other thing, you're not switching your neutral items. You can go for a pupil's gift right now. You don't need this iron talent. Perfect to kill this guy. Oh, but he gets away. Yeah, so now Chrono's up, so you guys need to play safe. You need to play on the opposite side of the map where they're playing. So right now you see they're all in your jungle, so you should be trying to push in top and mid. No, you should not be all together because yeah, you can be on the opposite side as long as you are good at avoiding team fights. So if you go there, so Centaur is a great hero in this case. He's good at disengage. Like as soon as so you go start playing on the opposite side of the map, and as soon as they come there TP, they try to kill you, you just stampede and get your entire team out. So yeah, in this case you can't tell your entire team what to do. All you can do is focus on. You can tell them, guys, please, like, try to avoid team fights and then just go farm on the opposite side. But this white just feeds randomly, so that's good. Yeah, you should try to avoid fights basically. You just have to keep waiting for getting pickoffs like this. So what you just saw is this white randomly fed. He was not supposed to die here. Like, um, if you just die like this, you're throwing the game, and he threw the game. So you try to keep getting pickoffs like this, and then you try to get an objective each time. Yeah, you get a pickoff and then you get an objective. So right now you should be trying to get a tower at least. Kills are useless if you don't get any objectives out of them. So as soon as you got this void kill, all of you guys should be trying to get a tower as soon as possible. So you are doing that, you're trying to shove the wave in. Okay, again you have to keep avoiding until you get a pickoff. Okay, chrono wasted, you get a good call. Okay, so this was perfect. You managed to get a team. So that void is bad. He used chrono on only Drow Ranger. Yeah, he used it only on Drow Ranger, and Pudge is a hard counter to void because he has a low cooldown save, which is a hook. So Pudge was playing well. He stayed outside the chrono and he pulled the Drow outside. So you guys managed to outplay them in the team fight. So that's another thing which you can do. Like, you either just avoid team fights, or you're just so good that you manage to outplay them in the team fight. That is one other thing you can do. But your Drow feeds, so too bad. Okay, this bristleback is diving. So I have one other thing to say. Like, now that you know Chronos and cooldown, you guys should be trying to get Roche. I mean, this game is going on 4x speed, so I don't know how much time has passed. But when big team fight spells are on cooldown, you should be trying to get Roche. Yeah, and again, BKB is the wrong item to go for in this case. Like, you should be going for a halberd or a crimson guard, because BKB doesn't stop you from doing your job this game. Your job is to blink, call somebody, and there's nothing stopping you from blinking and calling someone. So I'm not a big fan of this BKB. Yeah, Crimson is not the best. I would say go for Halberd because they have a lot of physical damage, so you have evasion against that. And you can also, yeah, Halberd is good. Halberd mainly because the way they win team fights is by Chronosphere. So if you want to outplay the Chrono, you need to stop him from attacking. So either you hook somebody out, and if your purge fails, you have a Halberd to save you against the Chrono. So Halberd would have been the perfect item this game. Like, BKB doesn't matter because co-op ulti is pure damage, and BKB doesn't protect you from Chronosphere. Like, he's just going to kill you anyway, even if you use your BKB. Your punch feeds, you get a big call. But yeah, at this point, like these guys are just way too far ahead. Okay, great, great. Okay, so right. Now BKB is fine because Mirana went for a Yule Scepter, so that's how you counter Axe. As soon as Axe jumps your hero, you just Yule him. So you save your teammate, but I was not expecting somebody to go Yule in this bracket, to be completely honest with you. So then BKB is fine. It's still, I would still go for Halberd, but BKB is okay now. It's not bad. I mean, these guys are playing better than I expected. So, I mean, they do understand a little bit about this game. Oh, I don't know why I'm looking at them. So cool. I think you've gotten everything you can out of this video. I mean, I don't see spending any more time on this. Yeah, right. So I don't think I should be spending any more time on this game. Um, to reiterate, I would just say do not rotate before you have your blink. Uh, okay. Yeah, so late game, like I'm saying, your item choices are bad, not bad, like they're okay. So, okay, I'm going to talk about late game then. So, in late game, what you're supposed to do is avoid 5v5s against this lineup. So, what you do is you just shove waves in. When you shove waves in, it forces people to go and defend these towers, right? So, they're forced to separate um, into 3 lanes or 2 lanes, whatever, depending on how they're playing. So, if you know where the enemy is on the map, you're playing safely. And if you see like a Weaver is top and Void is bottom, then you know that they're separated and you can pick one of them off based on where you are on the map. So late game, as a catch hero, what you're supposed to do is force waves in. So you force the enemy team to show on the map, and like once they show split up on the map, you just go and kill one guy. So that should be your mindset as a catch hero. Does that like make sense? Yeah. So shove waves in, force them to TP and defend, and then when you see separations on the map, you go and pick one off with smoking. So then again, like after you get that pick off, you get Roche, then you try to force objectives and eventually you just win the game that way. Yeah, so that depends from game to game. So in this game, I would be going Halberd next because you need to protect your draw in the Chronosphere. In this case, you go for Halberd, but let's assume they had a game in which, let's assume in this game it was um, Luna carry, Lion, Skyrath Mage, Shadow Shaman. Let's assume this was a lineup: Shadow Shaman, Lion, Skyrath Mage, and Luna. So in that case, you can go for a Lotus Orb because that just completely fucks with their single target spells. So that's how they kill you. They kill you by disabling. So every game is different. Like there's no fixed item build for a hero. You have to itemize according to each game. In this game, it's Halberd. In that game, it would have been Lotus Orb. But the concept of axe is still the same. You keep pushing in waves. You force them to show on the map when they come to defend, and then you just go and kill one guy. Yes. So I'm not personally a fan of Abyssal on Axe. Um, you can go for Hex instead because Hex also helps you stop Chronosphere. Like let's assume you used Halberd on Weaver and then Void comes in and uses Chrono, so then you can still Hex him while he's inside. But to use Abyssal, you have to commit your body. Yeah, it can't pierce BKB. You're right. Did Void go for BKB? Okay, so if Void goes for BKB, you go for Ethereal Blade. So when Void chronos somebody, you just ethereal your team. So Void can't hit him, and they don't have any magic damage. So your hero's just gonna your team guy is gonna like survive for sure. So I would have gone for ethereal over abyssal. Instant outside. Yeah, I think this is it for this game. Like, I don't know what the rest of your team was doing, but for some reason these guys have a 10k lead. But you played a decent game, I would say. You played pretty good. If you keep playing this way, you'll easily get to legend. So yeah, just keep focus on one role. Ideally, you can focus on one hero too. It's going to be very boring, but you'll get better at the game. This you need to do things which help you get better at the game. And many times, getting better at Dota is very boring. So people keep switching heroes and lanes because they want to have fun more than they want to improve. So focus on one lane and you'll get better for sure. You're playing. If you're planning on spamming offlane, then I would suggest play Underlord, Tide, and Axe. These three heroes are good for this patch. Uh, Try to learn Prophet, NP. I mean, um, so Underlord and Tide are your mid shield heroes. Like you'll understand how to play that role, the mid shield role. And Axe and Prophet are catch heroes, so you'll understand how to play the catch role as well. So I mean that's why Prophet is so good at split pushing, right? He has those treants. He can force people to show on the map by just pushing the side lanes with his treants, and then when somebody shows, you just TP there and kill him. So if you play these two heroes, you'll get better at Dota in general, like not just the hero. So you can spam these four heroes and you will get better definitely. Okay, cool. Thanks, man. I hope this was helpful for you. I'm just gonna stop my screen share now. If this was helpful and you'd like to like learn more, why don't you come back to me after uh, a few weeks when you've applied all of this and you're facing some new problems. I'd be happy to help you out. Yeah, sure. I'll just send them to you. Cool. So thanks for joining. I'm just going to upload this video now on my YouTube. And if you guys are still watching, please like, comment, subscribe, whatever. Thanks.